Welcome back to Turbo Zone. I got a guest today. It's who is this?
This is Brian. How's it going, Turbo?
Brian. Who are you? I was
Oh,
kidding.
I'm Brian. I have a YouTube channel, I Got Kings.
Yeah, you mainly do streaming, like live streaming, right?
Yeah, I started picking that up around 2019, around there. I've been streaming since. I streamed a little bit in 2013, 15, 13 or 15 around there, but got into it a lot more around 2019
Now you're
on
more on like
YouTube.
Twitch, right? You do like a Twitch streaming now.
Yeah, due to circumstances, I moved over to Twitch. I didn't expect to, but it happened. Just like work, people found my account, and I didn't feel
Mm.
comfortable streaming on YouTube.
So, before we start, yeah, if you want to check out Brian, go to I Got Kings on YouTube or Twitch and follow along. Brian, welcome to the Community Interviewnity, buddy. This is uh
Thanks.
this is my first episode that's outside of like the button mappers circle because I did Spencer and Teddy first. So
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here. I mean, I think I met you around the time I started streaming, and we've become friends. I would like to think. We haven't
yeah,
talked as much lately since the early times. Just been busy with work and moving, and then just over the past month I've been busy, so I apologize for that. But I've gotten to know you. I think we're friends. I
yeah,
consider you my friend.
I think we're friends.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
met the button mappers, and then through streaming. So it's been a good thing.
So, the way I do the community interviewity, I don't know if you've watched the other ones, is that I usually go through some questions, and we did this sort of short notice today. So, if you see me typing on my phone, it's because I'm like revising a question or something for this. But I'm going to
Sure.
ask you 7 questions, a series of 7 questions, and I just want to I want to dive into your brain, Brian. I want to get to know
Ooh.
you.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's a lot of useless knowledge up there, I guess. I'll push
So
something out of the way. Yeah.
curious, you brought up you started streaming in 2019 because that's mainly how I know you is through
Yeah,
your
right.
streams. Question number one is one that I ask everybody: how did you first get into content creation?
Around 2010, I was watching a lot of YouTube, like AVGN, a lot of early video game reviews, and I thought I'd like to do that. So I just got a webcam, and then I think my first video was like either a review of a PC tower or a Sega Saturn I got at a thrift store. So I had no idea what I was doing. I just put a camera and just talked. I still don't know what I'm doing, but that's pretty much what it was. Just to kind of hopefully put something out there and maybe meet some people who are interested in games and stuff.
Nice. I know I've like random. It's like since I started watching your stuff, whenever you were streaming on YouTube, I would randomly get like recommendations for like a TV remote review. Do you remember this
Oh yeah, my
review?
Harmony TV room. Yeah, that was like one of my first. That might have been actually my first one. Yeah, I think you left a comment. I
I
remember you said
did.
this is an awesome video or something. This
It was
is
like
legendary or
the best
something.
video on the internet or something. It was just
Yeah.
like it kept popping up, and I was like, I know you as like Brian, the guy who screams at Echo. I didn't know you as Brian, the
Yeah.
TV remote reviewer. So
Yeah, I remember that review now. That was like one of the first things I did. I put like a movie maker title at the front. I thought that was really cool, like
ooh,
Windows Movie Maker. Yeah, it was all
fancy.
fancy.
Is that
Yeah.
like is that like your like man, I don't want to get into like too deep into it, but like because like you don't come from like a editing background or anything, do you?
Oh no, not at all. No,
So
no.
like
I that was the most I ever did was
is that
adding
as
some
most as
text on
you
a type. Yeah.
is,
I don't know how
is
you guys do it. So I mean, I never really tried it. I don't think I have the desire to do it.
no, I think it's the stuff that you create, which is your mainly now your live streams, is more about like enjoying the game and like having this little community of people. Um, I guess my
Yeah,
second
basically.
question is how do you keep a positive community? I see a lot of streamers or just people, this internet personalities have these communities that almost become toxic. Like how do you keep
Yeah.
a positive community?
That's a good question. I have a mainstay of people who watch me, maybe about five or so, and I think they're pretty much they rib me a lot, and I rib them back. So I think it's pretty much positive. Every once in a while, you get somebody who comes in and said, "How do I get here?" Or starts instigating and stuff, and that can be kind of weird. But it's basically, I don't know. You just got to try to be not positive, but be nice and treat
And
people how they want to be treated and have fun playing. And I think if you're having fun playing, people pick up on that. Some people always come in and be a jerk, so that's just I'm still learning that. So I don't know how you keep a positive community. I'm
well,
still learning it.
I think you are commendable because having set in on your streams, you do keep a positive attitude. And there have been many moments that people have come in and started saying things or like, and you've just played along or you've been like, oh yeah, it's great, or something. And it's
Yeah, I mean, what else can you do, really? I mean, there's no use getting upset, or
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're just screaming at clouds there or anything.
Like, and we don't have to say names. If you know who it is, that's fine. But there was a person that would come into your streams that annoyed the hell out of me. And
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
every time they come in, it would be like they just had like the worst day ever or something. It's like
Oh,
every
yeah.
day, every day it was like my car exploded and my
Yeah.
cat exploded and my mom
No,
exploded,
yeah.
and it was
No,
and you were just
yeah.
like, oh, I'm sorry, man. And it just kept going,
It
You
was
like,
awkward. It was awkward because you don't want to say, "Oh, I don't think you're telling the truth," but you don't,
yeah,
because then if there's that chance that they are, and then you're just an a hole for bringing it
yeah.
up. But you kind of, so it was just awkward every time they
They're
bring that up.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awful if you were just like, I think you're faking it, and then they like review that their mom
Yeah,
did explode,
but either they're faking, either they're telling the truth, or they had the worst luck of the history of anyone in the world that I've met so far. That all this stuff is going bad for them, but it's hard to know because you don't know what somebody's going, because you don't know what people are doing on the other side of the keyboard, so
That's true.
you don't know what they're
That's
going
true.
through. Or
One of my favorite moments from me streaming was Teddy and I think it was during the pandemic. Teddy and I did like a Sonic Mania challenge where he streamed Sonic Mania and I streamed Sonic Mania at the same time to see who could beat it the fastest.
Mhm.
And having two separate streams was hilarious as just in general. But on my stream, I had this person come in that I couldn't tell if they were like, trolling me or not, but they were like they were like talking about how much they love Sonic and stuff, and then they were talking about like I would say like fuck, and they'd be like, please don't say the F word. And
Yeah,
I'm like, are you actually a kid? Because like they like are trying to make it sound like they're a kid. I was like, are you actually like a 7-year-old kid just watching my stream and afraid like your mom's gonna hear the word fuck, or are you just fucking with me right now?
yeah, I see that. It's hard to tell. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
say, because and especially on YouTube, a lot of kids are on YouTube, so you don't know if they
Mhm.
are really a kid or they're not.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Because that's the same thing has run through my head before too.
Question number 3 is, what is your favorite moment from your streams? Do you have a standout moment that's like your all-time favorite?
Oh boy, that's tough. I want to say finally beating Echo the Dolphin after
Oh no.
years of playing, after playing that as a kid and wanting to beat it. I mean, that game, like the last level, I was on it for like 8 hours trying to get that level, and I finally did it. So that was the frustration was released, and I could finally move
Uh,
on.
I'm surprised you're labeling that as one of your favorite moments because my
I
God.
just, well, I mean, to me, I mean, for a game, it's just because I beat the game and I always wanted to, and that was kind of a joyous. I guess I could. define that as the favorite game I beat, maybe that would be my favorite moment. Would probably be anytime I'm playing Dragon Quest is fun because I'm just happy playing Dragon Quest. I would
Of
say
course.
pick any one of those, and then I say that's probably my favorite moment. The favorite
Of-
game is probably I beat was probably Echo.
and you're streaming one of the Dragon Quests right now. Which one is it?
5 Dragon Quest 5.
5. Okay. That means nothing to me,
Yeah.
but for people that are interested, there you go.
Yeah, that's fine.
um so what is your favorite aspect of being a, I guess, content creator?
Uh, I would say when I always played games, but for when I grew up, and was all out, didn't have many friends. I still don't have a lot of real life friends. I just have work people, and they don't play games. So it's kind of fun to play games with somebody while they're watching you, even though
Mhm.
it feels like, and you get to know them, and it kind of feels like you're friends, and they're kind of watching along and playing with you. So I like that aspect the most.
It's more of like a communal aspect. Yeah, I get
Yes,
that. Yeah.
yeah, I like that. That it feels like I'm not by myself.
Yeah, it's totally different. Like I've noticed that too. Like
Mhm.
whenever the few times that I do stream games, it feels totally different. Like playing a game by myself or playing a game with like an audience. You know. um,
Yeah, yeah. It's because you can just like shoot the crap when you're with somebody like you did with your friends when I was in high school or junior high. You just do say stupid stuff and play a game.
yeah, that's what That's one of the worst aspects about like being a part of like a YouTube community as we are. Is that like
Hmm.
you meet these really cool people, but it's like you only get
You
to
never
see
see
them.
them?
Yeah, you either don't see them or like if you do see them, it's like a very, very special occasion, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's yeah, I agree completely. Like but you feel like you know them
Oh
after
yeah.
spending a lot of time with them.
I mean,
But
just
it's not.
doing the
It's
Go
not
ahead.
like you really know them, but it feels like you know them.
Well,
It's just strange.
it's like
It's
doing
like,
the podcast, doing the button mappers. It's like these guys are miles away from me. But
hmm
I had in the last because we started the button mappers like July 2019, with just me and Teddy did, and then Spencer joined like February of 2020,
yeah.
it or like March 2020, whatever it was. It feels like I've probably talked to them more than I've talked to like my actual like family or friends,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I see that.
I've
Yeah,
seen them way
definitely.
less. It's a strange feeling.
Yeah, I could definitely understand that.
Well, if you can't see behind Brian, he's a big fan of games. I see a lot of mainly Nintendo games back there, and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
couple a couple posters of Super Mario, whoever that is. So I
Oh
thought
yeah, yeah, yeah.
a fun question for you, and you're free to pull
Mhm.
them off the shelf or whatever it is. I want to
Sure,
ask
sure.
you your top 5 NES games.
Oh wow. Well, um, in any order. I'm not. These can be mixed up in any order, like depending how I feel,
Yeah,
or do I have to order them in any like one? This has to be one.
just
It's
any order. Just
okay.
it's just a random order of 5.
Okay. Super Mario Brothers 2, Ninja Gaiden 3, uh, Castlevania 3, Dragon Quest 4, and probably
Jack
Legacy of the Wizard.
Jackal. Oh, it's not Jackal.
Oh, and but that's how I'm feeling right now. I would say those are my 5 that
Do you have
I really
copies of
like.
those? Do you have copies
Yes, I do.
of any of those 5 games?
Dragon Quest 4, Castlevania 3, Super Mario Brothers 2. Those ones are boxed. Ninja Gaiden 3 and the rest, and Legacy of the Wizard are cartridge.
Nice. Ninja Gaiden 3 is my favorite one too.
It's great. It's my favorite of the 3. Yeah, they're all great, but I like 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
three's
3's
it's a
like
good
my favorite. Yeah.
three's a good number.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right, Brian. We're kind of blowing through these questions real fast, so maybe after we're done with the questions, we're gonna shoot the shit for a little
Yeah,
bit.
that'd be good. Yeah.
Um, okay, I want to know what's a fun fact about you that people might not know. It could be. It doesn't be anything
Oh.
too crazy. It just what we think a
Oh,
fun fact is.
I phew. I like to bike ride a lot. I bike a lot, and when I lived in Pittsburgh, in fact, from 2011 through till the COVID, I used to bike to work all the time up Mount Washington and down every day. It was like 12 miles every day to work, and I get up super early, talking like 4 o'clock in the morning to do it. So
Yeah.
for all that time, like I do that every day commute, and got to know the city pretty well from that, just biking around it. I used to do bike pedal Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh every year. It takes you all around the city, all the neighborhoods and stuff. It's a great city if you ever get a chance to go to Pittsburgh.
It's it was just some crazy calf muscles, right?
I used to, yeah. Yeah,
I
but
haven't been
yeah.
to Pittsburgh. I always wanted to go to Pittsburgh to Papa's.
Oh,
To
Papa's Pinball. Yeah, I went
oh
to that
yeah.
one year.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, was it fun?
yeah. I had friends. I'm not a big pinball guy, but I played like uh, they had like everything there. It was in Carnegie. I played like I think Star Trek Castle medieval one, and then maybe Indiana Jones or something. But yeah, they had like it was just a big warehouse with nothing. Every pinball game you can imagine was there.
There's a place in Tennessee. It's usually if I go on vacation, I just go to Tennessee because it's like right below me. So
Hmm.
and near Nashville, there's a place. It's not in Nashville. I forget what town it is, but it's like right outside Nashville called Game Galaxy, and they have a bunch of different
Okay.
arcade games and pinball games. You pay like $12, play all day. It's free credit and stuff. So I go there whenever I go on trips to Nashville, and I love the fact that they have just a ton of old pinball machines. So I get to hang out there and play pinball for a while. Last time I was there was back in October of 2022, and I got to play the Mario Brothers pinball machine.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I saw
Yeah,
that one.
that
It's a very cool background
oh
on it. It's beautiful looking
yeah,
thing.
it
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
cool, and I was having a blast with it, and I was laughing at the sound clips because it plays like if you ever sound clips and stuff, and it plays like the Mario theme song in the background. But Mario, which at this point I believe is voiced by Charles Martinet at this point, Mario will say stuff, and he'll be like, "I gotta get a Yoshi," and he says that like
Wait, oh,
20
it's really
times.
Martinet. Oh, okay.
It sounded like him. I could be wrong because it was like a Gottlieb table, and the art was Mario World, I want to say, or something. But like,
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. It is Mario
I'm
World.
not
Yep.
sure when Martinet started doing. Like, I know he had to start doing before '64, so it had to be somewhere before what the '95.
I think it was for like maybe a sports game or something. Maybe. No,
Huh.
no, no. Wario was his first one. Wario,
I have
maybe.
no
I don't
clue,
know.
but he's
I don't know.
the the voice sounds like him, but I'm not entirely sure. But it was just really enjoyable to get to hear like an official Mario pinball table and get to hear like the silly sounds and stuff. And I was
Yeah, I
having a
didn't know that
blast
had
with that.
sound. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
I played that one when I was there. I
yeah.
didn't know you were such a big pinball fan.
Oh
I never
yeah,
know how to
no, I
play
mean
I never know how to play pinball. Like I
that's
just
like
put a ball in and it goes right down the middle or something. And I'm like, what the heck?
that's like my like if I ever have the money, I want to get a pinball table just to have one. I know you can buy like kind of like they have like the one up cabinets. You can buy like the
Yeah.
one up ones that are digital, but like what's the fun of like that? Like you want like tactile. That's the fun of pinballs. Is it's like all tactile.
Yeah, you
So
feel the table and stuff. Yeah. I guess
yeah,
you're supposed to like hit the table to bump it or something
you're
to
not supposed
hit the
to,
ball
but
where
you
you
you,
want.
you can.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you were supposed to. See, I don't know how to play pinball. I'm just no good at it.
So, um, all right, and I guess I have one question left that I need to ask, and I'm not sure what to ask. Scary
You can
time,
ask
Brian.
anything. Sure. You can
Ask
ask more than one. You can. I'm happy to do it to answer.
ask anything. What's the last question? This is the final question of your interview before we just chit chat.
Okay.
Um, sure. I guess my question is, do you have any games? Do you have any like goals down the line? Like what series, what games do you want to
Oh,
complete on stream?
gaming goals.
Yeah.
I want to beat Sonic 2. That's my next game I want to beat because I beat it, but I beat it with cheats. I used the level select.
Oh, you
I used the level
cheater.
select. Yeah. So I want to do Sonic 2 because that's been eating at me. Wanting to finish that. That'll be my first Sonic game I finished by myself because I did compete a co-op with a friend when I was in Pittsburgh. Um, After that, I might feel like some more Genesis, so I might play. Oh man, what was that one Genesis game? Oh, Revenge of Shinobi. I never beat that one. I'd like to try that out.
It's like the game that's not as good as Shinobi 3. Just
I
throwing that
love
out there.
Shinobi 3. I beat Shinobi 3. So I was hoping that Revenge of Shinobi was, pretty good up
Have
there
you
too.
have you been watching the Turbo Throwdown stuff over
Yes.
on Majora TV?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. The Shinobi 3 versus the Yuzo
Beyond
Koshiro
Oasis.
one, Beyond
Yeah.
Oasis, which is a decent game. It feels like a beat 'em up in its own right, but I like that game. But Shinobi 3 is just so fun. Once you get in the groove, you can just fly through it and
And
have a
you
blast.
gotta you gotta help me, dude. I'm trying to champion that game all the way to victory.
Shinobi
All the way.
3?
Yeah, I'm trying to get because
I mean, out
it's
of the
like a
ones you've
tournament.
had, yeah, I mean, Shinobi 3 is it's great. I think I mean, it's a late Genesis game, right? So it's like up there in terms of graphics and sound and everything. It's like cream of the crop, cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop. I actually have my Genesis slash 32X out right now, and I just ordered on eBay. I got a copy of Golden Axe 2 and Ranger X, in a bundle
Oh,
for like
Ranger X is great.
I got them for $50, and I was
Oh,
so
that's a good
happy.
deal, Ranger. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Congrats. Yeah, the Ranger X that goes for pretty penny now, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think so.
The guy wanted like 65 for both, and I talked him down. So,
Oh, that's a good talk though. I played through Ranger X maybe a few years ago, and I at first I was like, how do I even do this? But once I got into it, man, I just beat it and then I looped it again. And the second time, it just clicks with you when you beat it once. You know, when you beat a game once and then it just clicks with you, and then you fly through it on the second loop or
oh
whatever,
yeah,
and you're like, oh man, you just feel great. That's how that
robot,
was with Ranger X, man. Yeah. What's that?
robot on a like a robot on a skateboard. Hell yeah,
Oh,
because it's like what it looks like
yeah.
when you like riding a little thing around.
Yeah, you're riding that thing. You can control it with the six button. You can move it with the top buttons.
Yeah,
It just looks that game looks amazing too. Fun game.
it's such a neat game. I
And
played that for
Golden Axe,
the.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. The Golden Axe 2. That's the only Golden Axe I ever beat. I played one. That was like one of the first Genesis games, but two, never beat one. But two was the first one I ever beat. I did it on
Nice.
stream too, so I have a fondness for two, but one will probably always be my favorite because I played it first, even though I never beat it. Just something about like the yells and
Oh
you
yeah.
dash into somebody and they fall off screen, or you dash. Just the jankiness of just being hit, running off screen, or and dying, or
There's
and
something
just like
just
I didn't mean to do that.
there's something charming about those old like janky Genesis games, like the launch era Genesis games and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah. Ultra Beast, I like.
dude, I will
Uh-huh.
always love Altered Beast. I don't care what people
Hmm.
say. That game's
I love
awesome.
Ultra Beast.
And I
Hmm.
fucking love the game over music. Always cracked me up because it's like this big epic and you're like turning into a werewolf or a bear and you're fighting these like big monsters and you
Yeah.
die and it's like ba-dum, ding, dum, dum, da-ding,
Oh
dum.
yeah, it is kind of funky or
It's
something like that.
it's like
Yeah,
a
you're right. I don't
it's like
remember it exactly, but yeah. But
it's
those
like a
early
head.
Genesis games, yeah, yeah, it's funny. That's one I always wanted to beat. I finally checked that off my list.
Nice.
Shorter game than I thought. I was surprised at how short it was.
Yeah, it's definitely an early title.
Hmm.
Well, I didn't, I'm not even sure how long we've been going. Um, I should have like set a timer so I knew. Shoot.
Well, I think about 35 minutes, 40 minutes,
Do you
maybe
want
if
to
that.
do you have any questions or anything you want to talk about?
Just video games, and we could
Just
talk
vid-
about Genesis. We could keep talking
just
about
video
Genesis.
games.
I
I
mean,
love
what
video
if?
games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you want, if I know you're a Genesis,
Oh yeah.
you
I mean,
love. So
I got a wireless Genesis pad sitting right sitting right here.
Oh, that's the 8-bit do? Is that do or do?
Yeah, the 8-bit do.
Yeah,
Was it
that's a pretty
the
looking.
M30? Yeah, it works on the Switch. It works on the PC. It works on my Genesis Mini, which I have modded, or it also works on my Raspberry Pi. Like, it's a really nice little. I mean, and it works on my Genesis. So like, I
What
like having it.
what's the model number of that in case anybody here
It's
wants to look it up?
it's the 8-bit do M30. 8-bit do M30. Um, it's really
Nice.
it's like my
D-pad's
favorite.
pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean
Okay.
it feels like a Genesis controller. It's so nice, and I use it all the time.
You can
That's why
plug
it's
that
so convenient.
into a regular Genesis with an adapter or something.
Yeah, you can
Bluetooth.
order. I have two of them for this reason, because you can order one with a Genesis adapter, and you can order one with a USB adapter. Um,
Okay.
I I don't know if they sell them now, but when I bought mine, they didn't have one with both, so I literally just bought two. That way, I had
Hmm.
one with the Genesis adapter and one with the USB adapter, and then I have two of them.
Okay.
Like,
Nice.
can never have too many.
Yeah, I got one of those. It's not 8-bit though, but I got a Retrobit 6-button Genesis controller.
Mm.
Um, so I have one of those, but I have not tried the 8-bit those. I actually fixed it. The reason I got it was I fixed an Atari for my uncle. I took it apart and cleaned it, and his controller was shot, so I ordered one of those, and then I liked it, so I just ordered another one for myself. But it's a pretty decent controller.
You're one of those dirty Genesis controllers on
Yeah,
Atari,
I
aren't you? Use
hate.
it.
Yeah, I don't like the
Oh,
joystick. I hate the joystick
oh, that
on the
hurts.
entire. I'm sorry. No, I know. Genesis controller all the way.
Dude, you gotta have a joystick. Have you
I don't
seen the
know. I
joysticks
got my
for
highest
the?
score ever on Spider Fighter with the 3-button Genesis controller plugged in.
That wow, the big chonky 3-button controller too.
Yeah, what was the one I had there? So
Have you seen the joysticks for the VCS thing?
no, I haven't seen any of the VCS. I know you got
Okay.
one, so
So let me just grab my joystick. It has like a modern controller too, which looks like it's just an Xbox controller. I
oh
mean, you can even use Xbox controllers, but they made like a new joystick for it, and
oh
this is
look at that.
like the new joystick, and it's
Does
got
it
like,
feel?
oh yeah, it feels great. And also, games that use like the paddle. This is a paddle,
Yeah.
so you could twist it like you
Oh,
would a paddle, and it works for like paddle games. But I
did
don't know
you
if I can
try
show it.
Kaboom or any
I play
Kaboom
like
or
breakout.
anything with
I
it?
play like breakout and stuff. But look, like the
Okay,
thing even
break on.
lights up whenever you're pushing it in like a certain
Oh wow!
direction.
It even had colors of the old 2600.
Yeah,
That's pretty
it's
cool.
a really nice, and it works on PC too. So even if you don't want one of the VCS things, you can order these and play it on PC and stuff. But like,
Oh really? That's neat.
I'm just
That's
happy to
pretty
have
cool.
like a modern Atari joystick.
So how is the VCS? Pretty good.
It's nice. I want to do a video talking about it.
Okay, I won't.
I was gonna wait because like it has PC mode, where you can like install Windows or Linux or whatever and play games and mess around that way. Um,
Yeah.
outside of the Atari operating system itself. But I bought this really nice laptop
Yeah.
that can do way more than that PCS can. So I'm probably not going to do that. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do a video on it. But I plan on doing a video where I'm going to talk about the VCS and in my
Okay.
thoughts,
Well,
because I've
I
had it.
won't go into. I'll wait for the video then.
Yeah, I've had it for a couple months now, and I've been playing with it, so
Okay.
it's been fun.
About Genesis games, you asked me my top 5 Nintendo games. I know it's hard because I like so much NES stuff.
Uh,
I know you're a big Atari guy, so I'll ask you top 5 Atari 2600
ooh,
games.
top
It
five.
doesn't. You don't have to order them in 1 through 5.
Do I? Am
Just
I
in any
allowed?
order.
Okay,
This could be
am I
just
allowed to throw in like homebrew games or no?
no,
No homebrew games. Okay,
no
that's
homebrew.
just
It's just original.
okay because that console's been out since 1977, and people are
I
still
know.
making games for it.
I believe it. I know. But I'm gonna say just original. It could be
Just
anything
original.
from
Oh,
76 through 82 or
okay.
whatever.
This is tough. I'm trying to think. There's so many games. So the ones that pop into my mind
If you
is
don't feel like doing Atari, you can do Genesis. I'll leave
no, no,
you
no. I'll do
in
Atari. You
those two.
asked me Atari. I'll do Atari.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm gonna go with this is just off the cuff. If I have more time to think about it, I might change my answers.
Of
But
course. Right.
um, Keystone Capers by
Okay.
Activision. It's a great game.
Okay. Mhm.
Um, there's a game by a fox that I really like, and I can't think of the name. Turmoil. That's what it is. Turmoil. It's a
Okay,
really
I
good.
haven't played that.
Oh, it's
I
very
haven't played
fun.
that.
Shit, dude.
It's hard, huh? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like
it's hard right off the cuff. Dolphin by Activision. I love that game.
okay.
Have you played that one
I think
before?
I've heard of. I have not. No, I
It
know it. I've
uses
seen it.
it's a dolphin game, and it uses sounds to like replicate like echolocation underwater. So there'll be like a dolphin and then like a wall of seahorses, and then it'll be one open, and it'll either go from like a high pitch sound to a low pitch sound, and it'll tell you which way the opening is going to be next, so you can go. So it uses the actual
Sounds.
sounds to
Maybe I did play that.
navigate. It's a very cool game.
That sounds
Uh,
familiar. I don't know if I played it or heard about it. One of the two, but
I have to put an iMagic game on here. So I'll just say Demon Attack for now, but really any of the iMagic games work. Like Atlantis or the one with the spaceship, I can't remember the name of it right now. They're all really fun. Um, yeah, Missile Command. I always like Missile Command.
Missile Command. Okay,
Yeah.
no Spider Fighter, huh?
No Spider. Well, actually, I like was it Mega Mania a lot too. Is that a?
Okay, okay.
But
I
yeah,
know that one. I haven't played it. I've seen. I know the label of it.
Spider
I
Fighter is
see it.
good though. There's a lot of good Atari games, man.
That's in my top five. I don't play enough. 2600 memories are relegated to past Brian
Yeah.
8 6 through 8 years old. When I got my NES, my Atari was no more.
My I think Atari is like my most like my biggest collection of like
Yeah. That's
games.
why I figured I'd
So
ask you that because like I know that would be a
yeah.
harder question for you. But yeah, good. Good to hear.
Yeah. So you've like I would assume maybe like NES is your favorite, right?
I would say NES is just because it's so important to me. I mean,
That's what's funny to me is that like as my okay, well my favorite's actually like Genesis, but and
mhm.
it's always going to be Genesis, but again because it's like important to me. But
Yeah.
like my biggest collection is Atari, and people were like, "Oh man, you must love it from like when you were a kid." And I was like, "No, I didn't get into collecting Ataris until I was
Yeah.
like an adult."
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's
Yeah.
just like
Remember when I
it's
first
something
was
about
talking
it.
to you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like something about. Well, I started collecting Atari like I don't even know, like actually collecting it. Like I first got an Atari when I was a teenager, but actually collecting Atari might have been like 2015, 16, somewhere around there. I decided to
Okay.
actually
Yeah.
start
So yeah, you
getting
got
into it.
into it really late. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then
So
just
what, do you
opening.
remember the first game you played? I mean, your mom played a lot of Atari,
Oh
so
yeah,
you probably
well, and
played through her.
I played like Atari compilations and stuff, so I played games like
Okay.
that way through like others' consoles, you know. So that's mainly how I knew about a lot of games was like she had like the Activision collection for PS2, and I would play that with her a lot. And that's how I got into games like Kaboom and Keystone Capers and River Raid and stuff. Um, damn it, that's a good one. River Raid's a good one.
River Raid. Yeah.
Freeway's a good one.
What was the one?
Freeway, where you're the chicken. You ever play that one? Where you're the chicken, like but you just
No, that
cross the
sounds cool.
street.
So you got to cross the road,
Well,
basically.
yeah, and it's
Okay.
two play. Well, it is two players, and you can only move up. So you just see how many times you can get across the street, and it's two people trying to race each other. So you're just racking up points that way, and it's really fun.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
Barnstorming, that's another one I like a lot. That was on that collection.
Yeah, that one I remember. Yeah, playing that one too. Yeah.
Pitfall, of course. Stampede.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got into playing Atari through like compilations like that, and then whenever I got old, well, and I had like some of those like little plug and play ones and stuff. But when I got
Hmm.
older and I actually became more interested in like collecting and playing older games, I was like, I need to find a 2600, and a guy that the guy that actually taught me video editing. I used to. I don't want to go into like a thing about like my backstory, but I used to edit for a church and then send their church sermons off. And it's not like I'm a super like religious, but like I
Hmm.
used to do that mainly because I just wanted the experience. And the guy that taught me how to edit and do all that gave me an Atari, um, and
Yeah.
I don't have it anymore, but the one he gave me, he had rigged up. The power cord didn't work, so he rigged up like a cell phone charger to plug into it, and it came on. and I'm pretty sure I left it plugged in by accident, and it like fried itself because I just
Oh.
that Atari stopped working, so I had to
Oh.
toss it. But then I bought another Atari off of eBay, and I still have that one. And then I just like spiraled. I was just like, I gotta keep buying Ataris so that I like,
Once you got
yeah,
the taste of it, you know.
yeah. So I bought that one as the regular like the 6 switch wood grain, and then I bought the Sears Telegames, which is the one I
Hmm.
mainly use, which is really nice. And then I bought a Vader, the black one, which I actually sent to Teddy, so he has that. And then I bought a 7800. So it's just like, and then now I'm looking for a
And you
5200. Yeah. So um and then I bought the VCS thing. So it's just become like a spiral of me just continually buying Ataris.
so you just need a 50. You're looking for a 5200 right now. I'll
Yeah,
keep my eye out.
I almost got one for pretty cheap. Well, the thing is that like I'm afraid to order them online because with 5200s, it's like I don't want.
Controllers.
Yeah, the controllers might be fucked up, or I want to make sure it works, you know. And I was gonna buy one off a guy that I worked with, but I could not convince him for the life of me to sell it. He was like, it's in storage. And I was like, okay, so you're not using it. Like, do you care about it that much? Just give it to me. This people, I'll buy it. He wouldn't budge.
Maybe it's like a pack rat. He just wanted to have it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was like his first console, but he didn't want to get
Oh
rid of
yeah, that could be too. Can't part with it. 52. Well, 5200. That's a first console. I can't imagine. Somebody had that experience. The 5200 was their first consoles.
He's got some good fun games on it. I'm not,
I never tried it, so
I've played some versions of games from the console. I never actually played the console, so.
yeah, I wasn't slagging it. I was just thinking, you never hear somebody say, "Man, I love the
Oh, don't
5200. It
even,
was
bro.
my first."
You're an NES kid. You were slagging it.
No, I mean, I think by proxy of like when I played the NES, like
Did you like turn your
games
nose?
felt real to
Did
me.
you know? Did you know any Atari kids? Like any 5200,
I mean, I was an
kids?
Atari kid. I mean, before my Atari was my first console. I still have my original with my David Weiss price tag for $299 or $199. We bought it for.
But it's like
Uh,
everybody switched over to NES, right?
yeah, I mean,
Do you know
I
any like whenever you
video
got into
games.
NES, did you know any kids that were still into Atari?
No, no. When I got in that, we played video, when I played Atari, it was from like my years of like kindergarten through third grade. So it was those 3 years, and we played it as a family. Like we'd shoot around in Spider Fighter, or I played Pac-Man, Combat, and Spider Fighter. That's probably my 3 games I played
Oh
the
no,
most. And
not
then I messed around with
Pac-Man.
Barnstorming and Berserk. I liked Berserk's fun. Um, no, at this time when I was going to elementary school, up until third grade, I knew nobody who played Atari, and I was like, I want to make some friends. So one day I went to school and I saw this kid playing Ninja Turtles under the table. This was around 88, 89, or he was playing with something, and he introduced me to a kid, and we did like a lip sync, and it was basically saying everybody walked the dinosaur. So we had to go to his house to practice, and he had a Nintendo, and this was when Mario 2 just came out, so it would have been
Oh
88.
no, Mario 2.
Okay, and Mario 2 is probably the first game I saw on the NES, and it blew my mind. I mean, from coming from like Atari's great, but when you see Atari, like my mind didn't know the video, like the Atari was just something that we hooked up and played around with. But when I think I was coming to the right age when I saw Mario 2 on the screen, like I was blown out. And then we played Contra, Mario 1, and Super Off Road, I think, was another one he had, which I didn't care about Super Off Road, but like Mario 2 was the game that I was just enamored with as a kid. It got me in, and then I asked for an NES, and I think I got it for would have been my birthday that year in November '88. I had Mario Duck Hunt for the longest time. I think that year at Christmas I got Mario 2, Castlevania, and I think those were the 2 games I got. It could have been like next year, but it was around that time I got those games. And Dragon Warrior I got in the mail when I subbed to Nintendo Power. Didn't even know it was coming. I just got a free copy of Dragon Warrior in the mail, and then
Oh wow.
I was like, how the hell do I play this game? Like I was like, what the hell? I'm coming out and I don't know what to do to progress. And then I had to go to my sister's chorus concert, and I met a kid there. His name was Chris, and he told me about how to play it and all this stuff. And I slowly learned how to play RPGs, and then I love Dragon Quest ever since. But yeah, the NES is a
You became an
strong,
addict.
yeah. The NES is a strong.
But if that
It
was
has a
you,
pull. My life can be separated into like pre-NES. Like I don't remember much about video games before that, but after NES, it's like all I wanted to do. Like even when my friends grew out of it, like in high school, like I was still wanting to play like all the time. It changed my life. I mean, it sounds corny, but no, the NES was the most important thing I ever got. It changed my life. It made me who I am today. Without the NES, I'd be a completely different person. Like completely, I don't know where my life would have went.
how did you get Dragon Warrior for free?
Nintendo Power was selling doing they overestimated demand because in Japan it was selling like hotcakes.
Okay.
So they made so many copies and they couldn't get rid of them. So they said, hey, if we subscribe for $20, at least we can get $20 out of it, and we'll send you a copy. It gets more subscribers for the magazine. So if you have, I have the copy. So the way you can tell. The thing that tells it is this: they packed it with some extras. They packed it with an explorer's handbook. This was not with the original release.
Oh, nice.
And also on the back, if you look on the back, there's an error. The Nintendo Power copy down here says die hit decreases. The release after that is die hit points decrease. So this version had an error in the I don't know if you can see it on camera.
That's cool.
And also, I think on the flap, the numbers tell you on there, but I don't know if you can see. Yeah, this Explorer's Handbook, I used to take this to school on the bus and just read over it. Like, just like wanting to know. Like, it basically spells the whole game out for you.
I'm surprised it's in that great a shape. If you took it to school, I'd be getting fucking Arby's sauce on it and everything else.
We didn't have an Arby's. We had that square pizza that was horrible. It was cut with like one triangle side longer than the other. But yeah, I did that for all my games. I used to just take them manuals to school. Look, I put like go in for something. I don't know what I wrote there.
I used to do that, but I didn't have like. I didn't read anything because I had fucking ADHD and I didn't want to read anything. But I would take like game manuals to school with me to draw like the pictures. Like, you know.
Oh, I did
like,
that.
Yeah,
once.
yeah. I'd be like, I want to draw Crash Bandicoot. And I'd take the Crash Bandicoot manual with me, you know.
Oh, Crash Bandicoot. I didn't know you drew. Do you draw anymore?
Not as much now. I do some like painting every once in a while and stuff, but like it's just like every once in a while I'll get like a little gremlin voice in my head that's like, you need to paint something, and I'll be like, oh shit. So then I'll grab a canvas and I'll get some acrylic and I'll paint. But it's been a couple of years since I've actually done that, but like I always have supplies on hand just in case I'm ever like, I want to paint.
Water oils. What do you use?
Acrylic.
Water paints. Okay.
Yeah, I'm all acrylic. But
okay.
So yeah, so I used to do that too. I used to take it to school with me. I'm surprised.
I
thought you meant like you just randomly got a copy of Dragon Warrior in the mail. I didn't know you meant like Nintendo Power.
I did. I didn't know it was coming. I ordered Nintendo Power because after seeing the Super Mario Brothers 3 issue in Mr. Wagner's fourth grade homeroom, and I ordered it, and I didn't know a free game was coming, and it just showed up in the mail. I was like, "Well, this is cool."
I was thinking, like, because we're not that far off from time travel. I was thinking maybe like an older Brian sent a younger Brian Dragon Warrior, and it like created like a loop,
It brings a big
I wish
that
same copy of Dragon Warrior on your shelf. In a few years, you're gonna mail it back in time to
myself, like a quantum, like a loop kind of thing. I kind of want. That's a good point you bring up. Like, what would younger Brian, looking 8-year-old, 9-year-old Brian, think of me now? Like, I never changed. The only thing that changed about me is I got older. I mean, I'm pretty much the same. My personality, I think, is the same I've been through. I was like a little kid. I still like the things I liked. I bike ride a little bit more, but I'm still basically the same person. I was even more socially awkward back then. Like I can remember before my NES, I was like, I want to make some friends, like I said. So I made a concerted. This is funny for an 8-year-old. Like, who thinks I want to make friends and then they go in and make a concerted effort to make friends? But if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have saw the NES when I did, and it wouldn't have changed my life. So there's something to say about like really focusing on changing something about yourself if you want, because it can really lead to good things.
Do you have a stinker game? We all had the stinker game, right? Whenever we were kids, like that game that you got for like a birthday or something. You were just like, I don't want to touch this. Do you have a stinker game?
Um,
Was it Mario 2? It should be Mario 2.
no, no. I love Mario 2. Mario 2 is one of the best games on the NES.
Don't stop.
Stinker game. No, all my games are probably. I mean, Boy and His Blob. I wouldn't even call that a stinker game, but I like that game. It's just not like I wasn't expect when I got it. It looked like Pitfall, but a little bit better graphics.
I think my
But
stinker game, and I'm not even sure how bad it is. I haven't played it in so long, but I used to play the hell out of it. It was on Super Nintendo. I have a copy of We're Back, a Dinosaur Story, and I still have it. It's We're
I
Back, a
didn't know that was
Dinosaur
an
Story.
SNES game.
Yeah,
How is it? Any good?
based on the movie, right? I don't, but like I remember having fun with it, but I remember like just like as a kid still being like, this isn't as good as Donkey Kong Country, you know? So like,
Well, you're setting the bar. You played here, and then you're
ah,
expecting even up here. You're going. That's a big drop compared. Like your
that's true.
expectations were not even met halfway. Like if you would have said this is not good as um time slip on the SNES, like then you're more evened out or something like that.
See, that was
I could.
like that was my era. Was like the end of the 16-bit era, beginning of the 3D. You know, I guess
Oh,
what do
you
you
were the
call it?
play it loud era. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. And like,
yeah.
you know, my the first console that I owned personally was N64. So like that was
Mhm.
my childhood. But I still had access, you know, people gave me like older consoles, and I remember this really cute neighbor girl. I don't know. I had been like really young, like 5 or 6, and she was like 16. She gave me her Super Nintendo with Mario World and Donkey Kong Country, and those are the copies I have. That's the Super Nintendo that I have today.
But
That's just
she just gave it to you.
yeah, she just I guess she got tired of it or something, or I don't know. She just gave it to me. She was just like, "Here you go," and she gave me Mario World and DK Country, and I played the hell out of it. So
She was 16. She was probably moving on to
yeah,
like
exactly.
boys and all this stuff. She
She
was
was getting maybe she was
makeup
getting
and
too
what
old,
and
and I
yeah,
used to
pillow
go over
fights and whatever.
because she lived right next door. I used to go over and watch. Of course, I'm a kid, so you know, it's not like I'm like registering in my brain like this is a pretty girl. I'm just like I'm gonna watch the girl play Mario. So I go over and I watch her play Mario World or TK Country, and you know, helping her play and stuff. And she'd be like, "Alex, can you help me get over this thing?" Of course, it's probably just like to like entertain me because I was a cute little kid. You know, it wasn't like she actually needed help, but like. I used to do that, so she knew I loved watching her play those games. So I guess she was like, "I'm gonna get rid of it. I'll give it to the neighbor kid."
That was nice of her. So she was an important person in your life, whether you realize it or
Oh,
not.
DK Country is like my favorite game of all time, and I
Yeah,
have it. That's the same copy.
yeah.
That's his, so.
See, that's pretty cool. Like my story with like the lip sync and getting the NES and Mario 2, like all those stories that make us who we are. Like, what if we didn't meet those people? What would our life
My
like? Can you imagine not playing DKC when you did like that way?
yeah. What would I? I'd probably be like a Warcraft guy, you know, or something. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
even nobody wants that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably be playing
I just can't.
Magic the Gathering or something. I don't
Oh
know.
God. Yeah, I had a friend who played that. He went to tournaments. I gave him all my cards maybe about 10, 12 years ago. I had a lot of cards and I got it for the artwork, but I never played. I just pick them up. Oh, this is pretty. I don't think I
Yeah.
ever played a game of Magic in my life.
Yeah, that's like I collect Pokemon cards, but it's like and like I know how to play, but man, I'm like almost too embarrassed to like enter myself into like a into like a tournament because I'm like I don't want to talk to these people. Like
Yeah, I gotcha.
like
Now
I'm
you
just like on the outside looking in, I'm just like I don't want to talk to any of these people.
yeah, like and my friend played it a lot when I was graduating from college. I got my first apartment, and we used to live close. And every Thursday we do laundry, and him and his other friend would just play Magic, and I'd just sit there like, oh God. What am I doing?
Oh God, you keep
I
playing.
don't know what to
You
do.
keep playing bump and jump. It's just
Yeah, I could be saying Jackal, like you said earlier.
Jackal. You're playing
You
Jackal.
thought Jackal would be on my my list of top 10. You were kind of surprised it
You're
wasn't.
playing Russian Attack.
Oh, that game. Yeah, I kind of want to play through that one.
Russian Attack. I love those dumpy. There's like the like any the '80s era NES games that are like Russian Attack, like Operation Wolf, like those kind of like
Operation Wolf.
all the
That
covers, all the
game.
covers have like buff military dudes on it. It's just
Yeah.
like there's something about that time period. It's just like very funny to me.
Yeah, pre 88, like when it really took off. Like I
Yeah.
got mine in 88. So all those, like I'm still finding NES games like Commando. I just played through that. That's a fun game.
That's a good game.
Gunsmoke's a great one.
Yeah.
Finding all these like little ones, and some of the box art, like you said, like Guerrilla War. That's a good one. That's the one with
I mean,
like
even
Fidel
like the box
Castro
art
and
for the box art for the first Metal Gear was like it was Predator, right?
Kyle Reese, right? Kyle Reese from Terminator One.
Terminator. That's what it was. Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Metal Gear is a game I had no idea how to play. Like that
I've
NES version, I haven't
I've
played enough of that to figure out how. Every time I try it, I'm like go in the truck and it's gigantic, and then I like get to the dogs and then I die. I need to learn. I'd like to try and give that a shot.
I've never fully played through that or the NES sequel one, Snake's Revenge,
Oh,
right?
Snake's Revenge, good
I've never
music.
played through those, but I've played through the MSX originals of Metal
Mm-hmm.
Gear and of Metal Gear 2, which is not Snake's Revenge; it's a different game. But I've played through the MSX versions, and like at least for Metal Gear 1, I don't want to go to the NES version because the MSX version is
See,
so much
that's the one
better.
I'd want to play because I like the NES. I'm like, maybe I'd really like this, and it's just like, yeah, I want to try out Metal Gear sometime on NES and learn how to play it. That's the thing about NES games. Like, you need if you read the manual. Like, if you like, okay, I'm going to play this NES game. A lot of games you got to read the manual and learn how to play it. And then once you learn how to play it and it clicks with you, you can once you get it down, you can go through it pretty quickly once you learn it.
I don't know,
Like,
man.
they're not very.
Going in blind is fun sometimes. Like that's what I did
Oh yeah, it's great.
with Faxanadu and Crystallis, and
Oh
I
yeah,
love both those
this
games.
Xanadu it's the weirdest setting of a game. You're climbing a tree. That one area with all the like fog in it in
Fog.
the middle
Oh
of the
my god,
trunk is freaking amazing.
yeah, it's got like that's like the creepiest atmosphere in like any NES game to me.
It's so like the music's playing and you're beating these weird enemies.
Yeah,
It's just
they're
so
like HR Geiger looking enemies
it's
almost.
such yeah no look the fact that yeah it just ends though. That game just ends. It's like you get to the end and
It's
you
too
fight this
short.
big walker guy and then it just ends.
Yeah.
The key part stinks. You gotta I forgot to get a jack or a king key. I gotta go back to the town and get one. But yeah, that game has it has personality in spades. It has a look to it unlike any other. It's like so earthy looking.
It's right up my alley. If you were asking me like my top NES games, I don't know what they would all be, but I know Metroid would be on there because I just love that game's atmosphere. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's another one where you're just feel like so lost in it. It's not like it's like visually stunning, but there's just something about the black background with the same walls. It's just so like something about it.
Oh, and the music in that game is like almost kind of unsettling at points.
Yeah.
So it's I love that game so much. I think it's like of those like early NES games like that and like Zelda 1 and stuff like Mario 1. I love Metroid a ton. I like Mario 1 a lot too. Zelda 1 is iffy
Mm-hmm.
on me, but
Okay, I understand that.
yeah.
What about Kid Icarus? You ever play Kid Icarus?
I've never played through Kid Icarus.
That game, I love that game.
The few times that I started it up, I've like been like, this is neat. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go play Wrecking Crew or something. I just go play something else.
Well, Wrecking Crew is one I haven't really played much of. So, yeah. Kid Icarus, you got to get out of hell. You're climbing vertically first. And once you get out of there, then the difficulty curve on that game, like a lot of NES games, is this, and then it falls off. But you got to get over this first before it gets easier.
Okay. I'll have to give it a try sometime. It's just one that I've never really given a chance. It's
Oh, 3DS. It's on the 3DS 3D shop, 3D
yeah.
eShop thing, 3D classics.
I have the Switch online too, so I'm pretty sure it's on there.
Oh yeah, okay.
Top 5
This
NES
one's
games.
3D.
Okay, top 5 NES games definitely.
Yeah, top 5 NES games.
Definitely Metroid. Definitely Punch Out. I fucking love Punch Out. I love
Punch
Punch
Out's
Out.
great, even though I stink at it. But Punch Out is amazing.
I love Punch Out more than I love some of my relatives. That's true.
That's great. I hope
uh,
none of them are listening.
they can listen all they want. Punch Out's fucking awesome.
They'd be like, "Yeah, I
I
can under." They'd be like, "I can
I
understand that."
reference Punch Out all the time. I went to this restaurant the other day that was called Don Pedro's, but I couldn't remember the name, so I kept calling it Don Flamingos. It was for budget.
The guy who's like,
Yeah,
he's like
yeah,
trying to
he's
get
like
you.
he's like the Italian guy.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yep.
Mega Man 3. I love Mega Man 3. Shoot, this is hard, man. Two more
Would you say
NES.
Mega Man 3 is your favorite Mega Man on the NES?
On NES, yes, that definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
It's hard, and I just threw some out I liked, and like you could ask me another time, and like I'm not holding you like to this. You could change whenever because there's so many. It's like just whatever comes off the top of your head.
Okay, Effects Center 2 and Crystalis. I like both those games a lot.
Good choice, yeah.
Are,
And Crystalis takes place in 1998, the futuristic world of 1998.
wow, the Dreamcast isn't even out yet.
No, it's well in Japan it is, but it's another
That's true.
year
Oh,
here,
that's true.
9999. Yeah, yeah.
What's
Good year.
Damon? I had a question. Oh, do you like the original Mario Bros? Like, not
Well,
not Super Mario Bros, just Mario Bros.
not really, not particularly. No.
Come on, bro. That game's awesome.
I stink at it. I always
I recently like loaded some money onto my 3DS, and I was like, I'm gonna get some games that like I can have because the service is like going down. But on the time we're recording this, it's going down like next month. And
yeah, March something.
so I got like a couple Super Nintendo games like Mystical Ninja and Link to the
Good one.
Past and Earthbound. And then I was like, I'm gonna get some NES games. I got fucking Mario Bros.
Okay. I don't hate Mario. For me.
I got Mario Bros, Zelda 1 and 2, and Mach Rider. I was like, these are my choices.
Mach Rider. Hey, Mach Rider. That's an interesting collection of games there. I gotta give you that. Hey, Mach Rider has that great song. That do 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 do. I like that song.
Yeah, like the only ones that I had on my 3DS were like Punch Out and for some reason Mega Man 6. I want to say somebody gave me a points card and I just randomly decided to get Mega Man 6.
Hey, Mega Man 6 is good. I like Mega Man 6.
It's a good game, but I was just like, Mega Man 6 and then whatever. So, yeah, my NES collection on my 3DS is very funny looking.
That's fine. I mean, we all have those collections of games. Like, yeah. You want to know a hot take I have?
Ooh.
Can I give a hot take?
Yeah, give me.
I like the later Mega Man games on NES better. 4, 5, and 6. I like better than 1, 2, 3.
I'll give you 6. I think 4 and 5 are. I don't know. Those two are give or take for me. I don't really care about them that much. They were.
And out of the first 3, I like 1. I think out of playing them over the years, I think I like 1 a lot more.
Oh my god, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, Marsh. Yeah. I played 2. Well, each one has their problems. Like 2 has that stupid boss with the wall. I forget. You got to beat Wily's stage that I hate. I always mess up.
The devil
with the crash bombs. No. In Mega Man 2, there's that boss with the you use crash bombs to destroy the wall, and it shoots those little pellets at you.
Oh yeah. I understand now. Yeah.
And 3 has like I don't like fighting. I think it goes on too long. Like you gotta fight
the boss rush.
Yeah,
which is a little much.
Yeah, I don't like that. And they don't even look different. They're just the same looking robot thing. If they would have been like Mega Man 2 bosses, it's, oh, cool, it's them again. And then there's a part where you can ride Rush across in Wily's castle and over this long stretch of nothingness. And if you run out of E-Tank power, you just can't refill it. And you got to start over. But 1, I think, with all its flaws, and it has a lot of flaws, it's kind of slippery than the other ones. And has points for some reason. But I think out of those, I think I like 1 a little bit more than those 3.
Did you play 9 and 10?
Once. 9 was very difficult. 10, I don't remember much about. I remember 9, I had a hard time getting through 9. But I would say 9 is up there. 9 feels like 2, but better.
Yeah, 9 and 10 are to me are like sequels to 2. is,
Yeah, but two is a special place because my friend had it. I think every kid growing up like had somebody who had Mega Man 2. Like you were saying, did people play Atari? No, but they played Mega Man 2 a lot. Or NES. They had kids had Mega Man 2, California games, Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, and probably Super Mario 2 or a Zelda game in there.
Fuck yeah, dude. California games.
Yeah, I don't know. People just had it, or I played it. I don't even remember renting it, but I
I
played a lot of
have I
California games
have
as a kid.
California games for 2600.
Didn't know there was one for
Yeah,
2600. That
Epic's made
must
a
be.
version for 2600. It's also like dual compatible with 78. I think it's more meant for 78, but it works on 26.
Hmm.
And yeah, you can play California games
It's
on
a
your
beanbag.
2600.
They got the beanbag game on there. I always like
They
that.
do. I haven't played in a while. They have the beanbag. They have the mountain bike. I don't
Yeah,
remember
the
what
frisbee.
else.
Remember you throw the frisbee and that
I
person's
don't
like
think
comes
they
out of
have
nowhere
the.
and just jumps
I
at it. I
believe.
always
Okay,
like
I
that.
believe it's the beanbag, the mountain bike, the surfboard, and maybe the half pipe. I think those are the ones. I think it's missing the roller blades and the frisbee,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, frisbee was
Um,
the one I always liked. I always thought that was funny because you throw the frisbee and you're like, oh god, and then all of a sudden this girl just jumps out and just leaps at the frisbee. It's just I always found that so funny. Oh, TNC Surf Designs is another one I used to
yeah,
play.
like everybody had. I feel like if I was alive back then, I would have been a Master System kid.
I could see that.
I
I never
remember
even
like,
played
and
Master
like
System
everyone's
20s.
like, "Yo, check out Batman on the NES," and I'm like, "Yeah."
I could see Alex playing some Master System. You've been playing. I'm here playing Zillion
Yeah.
and Golvelius and Golvelius is pretty good. Altered Beast on Master
Yeah,
System.
Altered Beast, Alex Kidd.
Fantasy. Maybe be a
I
Fantasy Star guy.
actually really like. It's funny because we're doing Fantasy Star for the next Throwdown, and I'm playing the first one.
Mhm.
I actually
Oh, how are you?
really like that first Alex Kidd games. The
I
Miracle World.
watched a little bit of Teddy play it on stream. He got farther than I ever got on it. I
Oh
think I
no,
got to the.
no. He did Enchanted Castle, which is the Genesis one.
Oh, I thought he did Miracle World.
No, Miracle World is much better than Enchanted Castle.
Okay.
So, well,
Yeah, Alex Kidd. It's fine. I mean, I did never played enough of it to really say anything.
our interview devolved into us talking about Atari and NES and stuff. So
That's fine. I could go more talking about video games.
I should probably wrap it up.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So, Brian, thanks for coming on the Community Interviewnity series.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Always good to talk to you. If you want to just talk to me sometime, shoot the crap about games and stuff,
Yeah.
please let me know.
Yeah, we could talk on
I
stream.
like doing that. So talking about myself is weird, but I'll talk about games and
We
stuff
talk
all the
about
time.
we're talking about Glover. I played Glover before.
Never played Glover. Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a funny one that's not Gex that I could bring up. Glover's a funny one.
N64 funny or any game funny?
Any game funny. I think any game funny. I think Glover's a really funny one to bring up.
Because you're just a glove running around.
Yeah, because like I think
3D
everybody.
platformer.
I s- I knew kids that had Glover, and I heard nobody
Hmm.
ever say good things about Glover. I have Glover too.
I
I
thought Glover was in the know for the younger generation. I thought people liked
in
Glover.
the know.
Yeah, I thought people thought highly of Glover. That and Iggy's Wrecking Balls. I thought people liked that
Iggy's
game.
wrecking balls. Oh no. Glover was just one of those games that like it's like your mom rents you from Blockbuster. It's like they have this one. It's like I wanted
Did
Paper
you have a
Mario.
video? Did you have a Blockbuster near you?
Yeah, but we didn't use it much. Actually, funny story. We did for a little bit. Then they like overcharged my mom for something that she shouldn't have been overcharged for, and she threw the not Best Buy, Blockbuster card at the clerk in the best.
Oh wow!
So we didn't go there,
So you
but
got
we used to have another like a local rental place called Movie Warehouse. And that's where I did a lot of my
Movie
game.
Warehouse.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of my game renting there.
Do you
So
have any games from them when they went out of business? Did you buy any from them?
yeah, I think I actually some of my 64 games I think are.
Nice.
Um,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I don't know which ones, but I know some of them are. It'll say on the back like Movie Warehouse. I think maybe like I can't remember, dude. Pokemon Stadium or something. I don't know. I have no clue.
Mhm.
But And I know I used to have a copy of Splinter Cell for GameCube from there, and I think I sold that. But it was like, yeah, I
You
used to
went-
rent from them and buy
Okay,
their games and stuff all the time. So
that's pretty cool. You have from your movie place you used to go to. I had
yeah,
Video Visions place in Armagh, Pennsylvania, and then Eagle Video. Giant Eagle is a
Eagle
supermarket chain
Video.
up around. Yeah, Iggle.
Yeah, we had Movie Warehouse, and then they closed down, and we got a place called Movie Gallery, and
Mm-hmm.
that was open for later than you would expect. Like I think it closed like 2010, maybe.
Oh wow, this is pretty late.
Yeah. And then now there is like I know of a rental place. It's like two towns over. I don't ever go in there to rent anything, but it's a movie rental store called Movie Vault. And they have movies and games, but it's also part pet store. So if you go to the back of the store, there's like aquariums and stuff back there. And it's kind of hilarious just to walk in there. I think we lost Brian. Brian's been lost, everybody. So, oh no, there he is. Oh,
I think you froze up there. I
no,
think
I
you're
froze
back.
up. You froze up on my end.
Oh, well, okay, okay, we're back.
Anyway,
Whatever.
this video rental store was part video rental store. I'm sorry, is part video rental store, part pet store, and it's hilarious to me. It's like you go in the back of the store and there's like aquariums back there. So
Well, that's freaking funny.
yeah, it's
So you
great.
can rent a movie and get a fish, take a
Yeah,
goldfish out.
I love going in there. I don't know. I never rent from there because it's like out of my way. But I've like bought some movies from there and stuff. But
Yeah.
like I just like going in there because it's funny.
You get a movie, you always swing back to the aquarium. Aquariums are kind of relaxing. You can like see the water going around, see little fish.
All right, man.
But,
I'm gonna call it. So
okay.
thanks for watching, everybody. Brian, you get any last words before I sign off?
Be good to each other, play games, and always tell your mom you love her.